Hi, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Red, White, and Brown from Daisy's Doll Live. Hope you guys had a great week yourselves. And I'm here with Michael, and both of us have had a great week, actually.
Got to watch a lot of great movies, and we're very excited to bring you three great titles. Two of them on Netflix, one hit the theaters, and today we are starting with Wedding Season. So we are reviewing the first one here is Wedding Season, and this is kind of your typical rom-com, but we actually find ourselves in this fake dating situation, which I found to be particularly funny, and I was really worried that since we have seen this so many times, they may not be able to pull it off, but it's really great to see it in a Hindi setting. So we have Asha, who is a career gal. She has a great career going for herself, but she's been down in luck. She's had to call off a lot of engagements. And now, as she's getting older as a working professional, her mother is very worried that she will not find a potential soulmate. So her mom is pressuring her quite a bit to be able to find a new guy in her life to get, to sit down and get married to. But, Asha doesn't really want, this to happen. Her mom's trying to set her up online, trying to get her on a date. There's all this pressure because her sister is getting married to a white guy who really tries to be this, white Hindi integrated guy. And with that, we, essentially watch the story of her going on this fake date with Suraj Sharma, who played Life of Pi. And so with that, they don't really get along. They're not really compatible, but they're going around with like the fake dating, and we start to see something spark. So with that, I'm gonna hand things over to Em to kind of tell you a little bit more about the film and what she thought. Em, what are you thinking?
You know, I'm not such a sucker for rom-coms, but these fake dating rom-coms, even the series that just released on Netflix, Purple Hearts, this there's something about these series that make you this content, this rom-com fake dating trope that just is a hook. And I thought a lot about it, and then it's just the thing that will they make it? Will they not make it? They're faking it. Let's see how long they fake it till they make it, right? So I think that is a hook for such stories, and this is absolutely home. The story is absolutely home because the pressure of getting married on kids, the pressure to perform. Hey, okay, you didn't go to an Ivy League, you're outcasted from the community, but also this entire wedding season where everybody around you is getting married and you got to go dress up ethnic dressing, you got to go and meet people, and then the entire auntie trope. I mean, the auntie trope's been done to death in South Asian content, especially in South Asian American content, because aunties are such a big part of our culture. They're the ones who carry the stories. They're the ones who gossip. They're the ones who literally, are also the villains of everybody's story because they're always gossiping about what you're doing. If they saw you with a guy, or it's so difficult to escape aunties, and all of that combined is here, along with a very nice rom-com story in the background about a guy who actually dropped out of MIT because he didn't like it. He's DJing, for God's sake. And nobody seems to get that in the Indian community, but the girl falls for him eventually. But, we're not going to give you the rest of the spoilers here, definitely. But hey, the soundtrack of the show, the movie on Netflix.
Syndicate, Daisy's Red, White, and Brown with Mira and Michael. And we just got done talking a little bit about, wedding season, kind of what it was about, this new movie on Netflix. And what we're seeing here is we're on this trope of the fake dating. We've seen it before. We're seeing this auntie, trait in it as well. So I'm going to ask Em a question with this. And we see a lot of these fake dating, plots happen, and we see a lot of rom-coms happen in Bollywood. But what do you think it was that really made this one work compared to the others? Because you and I have reviewed quite a few movies together, and it was great to just like sit down and watch something that seemed to have worked. So what do you think was going great for this movie?
I think the first thing that worked for me as an Indian American is because it kind of spoke to me in terms of the culture that exists in our community. It was, of course, a bit exaggerated, but yeah, it's true. This is how pressure works in the community. And then not only the pressure to get married for people, but also the pressure to, this family blackmail thing, things going on the side. And of course, the auntie thing. So a lot of these things do matter, kind of spoke to me. But then what really, really closed it was directed by Tom Day, by the way, the guy who directed Shanghai Noon. And the screenplay is by Shivani Srivastava. And the actors were actually grade A. There was Pallavi Sharda, who's actually an Indian American actress who has done a lot of Bollywood movies before this. And of course, is Suraj Sharma, who was introduced to us in Life of Pi. And he's all grown up and he's doing this. So, between the actors, the story, the pace story. I mean, they didn't waste a single
Yeah.
frame building
Yeah.
backstories or anything. It just flew, right? The actors were convincing. They didn't seem like, they just walked out of a closet and started acting. They were seasoned, all of them, in fact. And just the momentum of how things happen, the momentum of how, the romance, the momentum of everything. The only thing that struck me was, okay, why aren't they moving to the next base? Because that's so unnatural, and you just kept waiting for that to happen, but it didn't happen because obviously good Indian kids. Gosh, probably that's the reason. But yeah,
No, the
I think they.
pacing. Well, I was
Go.
just gonna say the pacing, like you said, was very good, and I think that's one thing that kept me engaged the entire time. Is there was never a point where I was losing interest, and like in the U.S. they always say like when you marry someone, you're also marrying their family, but that theme can never be held more true than when exploring the families of Hindi and Indian families, because it's true. Like if she were to bring this guy into her life, a DJ that dropped out of MIT, you have no clue what the aunties, might be saying about this potential mate, what it might do to a family image, whatever it may be. So I thought this was a great way for me, at least, to be able to, really kind of take a peek behind the curtains on, what goes in the lives of, some of my Indian American friends as well.
Totally, and it's absolutely this pressure to excel at academics, the pressure to get married, the pressure to settle down, whatever the hell that means. But also this entire thing, we live dual lives. We live our Indian life very, very vicariously, but then we also live the American life. So we're kind of stuck between two cultures as our generations. But yeah, I think a lot of that spoke to me. I think just the pace of it, the music of it. I mean, all of that was really fun. It was really well integrated. And
And we're just wrapping up this review of wedding season. We really like to hear, and we definitely recommend for you to watch this. It's a great pacing, has a lot of comedic moments, and it's kind of an accurate depiction. Some areas are maybe a little dramatic for the film, but nonetheless, like very great film. Highly recommend. What do
well,
you?
it is a predictable trope. It's you know what they're gonna fall in love, but there's something very infinitely captivating about unresolved tension between two people who are just going through emotion without really fake dating motion. And then you're like, all right, this is like forbidden love kind of a thing, where oh, are they kissing for real? Are they not kissing for real? Are they falling for each other? Who falls first? How does it happen? So kind of that hooks you on, and it's a really nice breezy pacey movie which we absolutely enjoyed watching.